Hi there, just a short video today just to update you on a couple of things. It's been a really busy couple of weeks, lots of comings and goings, driving up and down motorways and so on. But I want to talk about a few things this morning. First, I want to talk a little bit about some recommendations from friends in the vinyl community that have unlocked a couple of artists for me. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about recent finds, some new, some secondhand. I'm going to talk about a couple of record shops. Now, I watched a video by John, the 6-inch pianist, the other day, and he got me thinking about the experience of buying secondhand records from independent record stores. And I thought I need to have some say, because I went to a record store in my local area last week with Gav Axman Spins, who popped over for the day. And it wasn't the greatest experience, and I'll talk about that. But also on Friday night, I went to see Peter Hook and the Light. And if you don't know who Peter Hook is, he's the bass player in New Order and Joy Division. And me and a couple of friends, BBC Bob and Keith, we went to the Institute, the O2 Institute in Birmingham, and saw Peter Hook put on a great show. And I'll talk a little bit about that, and there's a few little clips, low quality clips I'll put in at the end of this video. So the first thing I want to talk about is some recommendations from the vinyl community. I did a video, I think it was the Japan vinyl tag, and I mentioned, I think one of the questions was, what is your grail? You know, I don't have a grail list, I just don't. But I mentioned an album that I've long wanted to own, but it's too expensive. It's one of these Vertigo Swirl albums. And someone told me there's a reissue available. Now, I'd forgotten about this reissue, but every time I've seen this reissue, it's been like about 70 or 80 pounds, and I'm not paying that for a record. I don't care. I'm just not going to pay that. But anyway, I went on eBay and got a new copy for 25 quid, and it is by the Canadian trio May Blitz. So I've long wanted this album. An old friend of mine who has it or had it wouldn't sell it to me, so I was always a bit peed off about that. But this is a Canadian kind of hard rock trio, but it's not really hard rock. It's very kind of spacey. Reminds me of Wishbone Ash, so very kind of understated, lots of air around the instruments, lots of space in the sound, lots of melody, and varying paces, so it's not like full-on hard rock. Some of it's quite slow and atmospheric, but I'm really thrilled to have finally got that. And I don't care that it's not on Vertigo Swirl. It's just a good album. It's great. Another one came from, and I don't know who recommended that. I went through my old videos today to see if I can find out who recommended me to go and search out the reissue, but I couldn't find the comments. So if you're out there and you remember, thanks, I really appreciate it. Somebody else mentioned, I think it might have been under the same video, because I talked about Camille Saint-Saëns' Third Symphony, the Organ Symphony, and someone said, you might like this artist, and it was Stephen Armstrong 6719. Stephen, thanks mate, because you recommended this artist, and no name on the cover, just on the spine, Anna von HAUSSWOLFF. So, not for the first time in this video I'm going to mention Mazzy Star, but this Anna here has got this ethereal voice. It's the great unique thing about this is she plays a church organ. It's rock. It's not rock, if you can understand. It's kind of late night in the dark listening, gothic sounding, but it's got this church organ. Not all the time, just as another instrument, as if you would have a Hammond organ in there, but it's a church organ. It sounds amazing. So that is absolutely great. So Stephen, thanks for that recommendation. I bought another album by her as well, which I'll not show on this occasion. Jazz. I've got a tricky relationship with jazz. Buy jazz records in a flurry and then nothing happens for a while. Excuse me. But I did notice an album by this artist, and that is Charles Lloyd. Now, Charles Lloyd, saxophonist, plays the flute as well. he's pretty ancient now, but he's been around since the 1960s and plays or recorded for ECM. This is a Blue Note album. What he's done, he's released recently, fairly recently, so the last 3 or 4 years, a trio of albums by trios, different trios. And I've never really got into Charles Lloyd, but I thought I'll take a punt on this one because they were 15 quid each, these albums, because I bought a second one and there's a third one coming today, so I bought them all. But this one here, what's really remarkable about these albums, and they're definitely worth considering if you're into jazz, is that he's got Bill Frisell on guitar and he's got Thomas Morgan on bass here. These two albums here don't have drum kits, but they're kind of more atmospheric in their sound. And as I say, what's remarkable and makes these albums interesting to me is that Charles Lloyd is very comfortable not playing his instrument. So sometimes you've got a lead melodic instrument like the saxophone and it's all over the records, but he plays with such restraint here. And this one was recorded in an old church. Sounds fantastic, wonderful. And the economy of his playing makes this really interesting. So it's not ambient, it's definitely jazz, no question about it, but it's kind of not traditional. I don't mean traditional jazz, but you know what I mean. Anyway, as I say, a third one coming today. Those are great, really, really good. Recent finds. So these are the ones I bought from record shops. Prince, Welcome to America. I've not opened this one up yet. I'm a bit of a completist when it comes to Prince. I'm not one of these people who think his career ended with Sign of the Times. If you've got the patience and the interest in Prince's music, then right up to the point where he died, and the stuff that's from the vaults is still worth hearing. His creativity never dipped as far as I'm concerned. The hit parade, the charts, the music press got bored because he was so prolific and he peaked in the 1980s. But this guy was absolutely amazing up until the day he died. So I'm looking forward to cracking that one open. Couple of classical ones. I know that most of you are interested in classical music, but I just quickly showed these ones. Michael Tilson Thomas and the Boston Symphony Orchestra playing Tchaikovsky's First Symphony. 2 quid. Bought it for the cover, but I like Tchaikovsky anyway. Jean Martinon, 2 Sanson albums. Quite difficult to get a hold of these. Because Sanson's Third Symphony dominates the catalogue, but these are great because I know the music. And I played this almost from front to back yesterday. It's a big box set by Sir Thomas Beecham playing Haydn Symphonies 93 to 104. Now this was recorded in, I think, 1958, 59, 1960. Unbelievable sound, fantastic, really good. Not really a big fan of Haydn, but certainly really enjoyed that yesterday. Record shops. Right, yeah. John recommended, he showed John's latest video. I'll put a link to his video in the comments, in the description of this particular video. But he got me thinking about record shops. And when me and Gav went to my local record shop on Wednesday last week, I picked up a few of these, and I also picked up this one, and this is by the Madeline Rust, and it's called 21 Girls. Now the Madeline Rust, I did buy their debut album, I think it's a debut album, which was Truth or Consequences, and this was on. So what's this? This is Mazzy Star's Vogue type vocals again, female vocalist. They've got a track here on the first album called Serial Killer Song. And that theme, I think what they're angling for, I think they've always wanted to have one of their songs appear on a soundtrack for a serial killer movie. And I think they'll be made. But it's kind of got this slow, dark sound. Lots of distortion as well. But honestly, really impressed with this band. But this album was put out by Tor Records, And Tor Records is or was led by a guy called Chris McGranahan. And Chris used to run this record shop called Those Old Records in Rugeley in Staffordshire, not far from where I live, about a half an hour. And but he used to have this shop, and he just sells stuff online now. So if I remember, I'll put a link to his website in this description as well, so if you're interested. And it got me thinking about the record shop experience. And went to my local last week, and you know, what do you want when you go to a record shop? For me, I mean, if you're interested in a grail and you're prepared to pay £200, £300, £400, £500 for one of those albums or box sets that's on the wall somewhere with a great big label on it saying, you know, expensive, or ask what the price is, fine, you'll go anywhere. But the way I buy records is often it's to kind of pop in. I like to pop into record shops, kind of see what the new arrivals are, check the bargain bins, and like to walk out with you know, a few albums and feel as though I got a really good deal. A few bargains, in fact. I like this idea of going into the bargain bins and finding something that other people overlook, a little gem. Anyway, went to this record shop on Wednesday, and I'm checking through the new arrivals, and I'm interested in soundtracks. And there's some new arrivals, quite a few soundtrack albums. I thought, oh, this is great. This is a rich seam of good music. So I started opening up these records and I started looking at them, and they were priced, you know, not really. They're not cheap. They weren't sporting prices, but they weren't stupid prices. So an album that you'd pick up new for £25, £30, it was on sale for £20, £22. And I thought, well, you know, I don't see it very often, so I'll check it out. I'm checking out these records. Finger marks, smears, you know, small scratches that are definitely going to be audible. Badly handled records, but priced not exactly, well, maybe premium priced. So I'm opening up all these records and I'm putting them back in the sleeves. And I look elsewhere around the shop, and everything, there's a whole load of stuff at floor level, which is like £1 or £2, really cheap stuff, but it's full of detritus, badly handled scratches, record sleeves that are broken, and almost, you know, a little bit a level above charity shops. And I haven't got the time to sit and go through hundreds and hundreds of albums to find, you know, a 1970s kind of soul album that I don't have. That's probably going to be scratched and mishandled in some way. So that would kind of peed me off a little bit. But I was talking to Gav afterwards, and there's a lot of records in this particular shop that are priced £7, £8, £9. And we were both saying, why doesn't the, and this just not this owner, but this is record shops in general, why doesn't the owner just have, like, as well as the £1 or £2 bins on the floor that people who are just after the bargains are going to look for, why doesn't the owner have like a £5 box? So why put price things at like £8, not in fantastic condition always either? Why not just put them in a £5 bin and get the stock turnover? And it got me thinking about like a business term where you have people in business who are what's called profit maximizers versus satisficers. And the difference really in a maximizer, a satisficer will kind of just go and think, what's the long-term game here? I don't have to maximize my profit in every transaction. Whereas the maximizer is all about getting the money in short-term, maximizing the return on the stock, and so on and so forth. And this particular record shop, just to me, is an example of a shop that will check prices on Discogs, put it in the median price, won't offer too many bargains. It's quite happy to have stock sitting there for ages, for months on end, and not moving. And it got me thinking about those old record shop that used to be in Rugeley that I've mentioned. Now, there is a completely different experience. So first, the other thing as well is that I don't need the record shop owner to be my friend. But it's nice when a record shop owner says, hi, how can I help you? What are you looking for? I might have something in the back. It's kind of nice to do that. Those old records in Rugeley, Chris McGranahan's business, was a great record shop. Sure, he had all the collectibles on the wall. It's super inflated prices for the people who are searching out those grails. But at the same time, he had lots in the £5 bins. And I used to go in there once every month, once every couple of months, just a half an hour drive. So I'd go up there, say, hi, Chris, how you doing? He'd say, how are you all doing? How's the family, kind of thing? What are you after today? And I'd flick through, while we're chatting, flick through the £5 bins, and I'd buy duplicates even. If I found a really good condition, an upgrade of a copy I've already got, I think £5, I'll get it. And I used to walk out there with sometimes £70 worth of records, £150 worth of records, so like a couple of bags or whatever. Every time I'd take them to the counter, Chris would price them all up, and then he'd give me like 20% discount. Nice to see you. You can have it for that. He'd round the prices down. And I'd walk out there thinking, got some great stuff. It's nice to say hello to someone, have a little bit of a chat about music. And I thought, I got a good deal. I'll be back there, because his stock was continually turning over. And not only that, he didn't put anything out on the shelves that wasn't at least very good condition. The local record shop here, as I've already mentioned, some of the stuff is, it's kind of charity shop, thrift shop kind of standard. So anyway, I don't know why record shops don't encourage people to come back, because this local record shop, I pop in there once a year, and I kind of go in there with a bit of a heavy heart, just to kind of, you want to put a little bit of money into the local economy, keep the record shop open because other people really like it as well. But I walked out there last Wednesday, and I just thought, it was just not a good experience. Just not a good experience. Sure, I bought a handful of records, got a couple of cheap ones. Nobody sells classical records in record shops for high prices, so I picked up those. But I just thought it was a bit disappointing. So anyway, record shop owners, if you trip over this video, have a £5 bin and get that stock turnover up, and you'll find that people will come back, and give them a discount. Anyway, enough of my little rant. Finally, new order. And Joy Division, Peter Hook and the Light on Friday night. He's doing a tour in the UK, and he's toured in the States as well. He does 2 sets. First set is New Order. Second set is Joy Division. New Order. Too Much Drum Machine. Never really warmed to them. I've got several of their albums. Kind of liked them. Good at parties, no question about it. Lyrics and their songs, absolutely piss poor, rubbish. Got nothing to say in their lyrics as far as I'm concerned. But, a good rhythmic sound. Anyway, and of course, both Joy Division and especially New Order never had strong vocals. So Peter Hook sings this time with the band. And his vocals are good, absolutely good. He's got a great stage presence. Doesn't talk too much to the audience, but he's definitely engaging with people, catching their eyes, laughing and joking with people, and so on and so forth. Great. New Order set, good. Not brilliant, but good. Came back and did the Joy Division set. And proper drummer, playing on the tracks. The sound is, the difference. It's not drum machine stuff. The sound's more open. It's dark. It slows. Joy Division slowed things down on occasion as well. It's fantastic. Really, really good. So I'm really very impressed with Peter Hook. His vocals. He's not Ian Curtis, but he could carry those vocals off. Absolutely great. Really, really good. When it comes to New Order, he didn't play Your Silent Face, which is my favourite New Order track from Power, Corruption and Lies, but it was still good. but the Joy Division set was even better. So yeah, definitely go and see him if you're interested, and I'll throw a few clips on after this. So anyway, that was my short video. I don't know how long it's gone on, but anyway, thanks for watching this one. And my next video is going to be the top 20 albums of 1983. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.
Wasting the fever and heat.